Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Kari and today I'm doing the worst books of 2017 video. I have read quite a few books and thankfully most of them were good, if not great. So there are about 9 books that I have on my worst books list, and they're just the worst books that I've read this year. I don't think most of them were published in 2017. That said, let's get started. The first one I read was, I think, a free book on Kindle, so, I mean, I can't say a whole lot more than that, but it is Princess Dracula by John Patrick Kennedy. All I remember about this is that Dracula's daughter was in a convent, and then when he went to take her out of the convent, something went horribly wrong and she doesn't want to be around humans because she doesn't want to kill them. It's idiotic. What else can I say? The next one is a series of 5 now, but I haven't read the last 2 because it was just so awful, and that is the Selection series by Kiara Cass. As I've said before, I'm really sick of love triangles. I think they can be done well. This one wasn't. Literally the only plot point was the bloody love triangle, and I hated it with a passion. The third one is Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. I know a lot of people like this book. I haven't seen the movie because it seemed dumb, but I finally read the book because, well, it was a popular book and I figured maybe I should at least have an inkling of what's going on. Turns out I didn't need the inkling of what's going on because it's idiotic, again. Yeah, I have nothing more than that. I didn't enjoy this book. The writing style was beyond strange to me, and I didn't like any of the characters. They drove me insane. Number 4 is Warrior Woman by James Alexander Thom. I've talked about this one in a previous video. It was just overly political and overly long. I liked the premise of it, but that was about it. Number 5 is Crew Chase and the Jet Reapers by E. Siskey. Again, an ebook that I got for free. It's basically a Canadian Harry Potter, except that the female characters have no personality. They're literally only described as hot or not, and the main male character has a grudge against anybody who's non-magical for no reason. Just not a good book, so don't read it. The next one is Fallen Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes. I read this because people on BookTube have raved about it, but I found it oversimplified, and I've read a lot better books that deal with the same kind of thing. I didn't enjoy this one. The kingdoms weren't at war for any good reason, so I just didn't like this book either. The next one is a nonfiction, and the only nonfiction on this list, and that is Akhenaten, Egypt's False Prophet by Nicholas Reeves. This one was not necessarily the worst book because I think it was a decent book. It was just probably worst for me because it was very disappointing. It wasn't at all what I wanted it to be, and I couldn't quite get over that it felt more like a textbook that you would read for an ancient Egypt history class than it did a book I actually wanted. The next one is Heartless by Marissa Myers. This one, I was so excited for this one. So excited, because I love the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Myers. They were fantastic, and Heartless is a retelling of the Queen of Hearts origin story. It could have been so good, but it wasn't. There was no personality. It was beyond predictable, even for an origin story. And it wasn't good. So that's probably my most disappointing book, but because of that it was also one of the worst. The next one is Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. I read this for Our Shared Shelf, starred by Emma Watson, on Goodreads, and part of it might be that I didn't understand the premise going into the book. Part of it might have been all the hype that surrounded the book, but either way, I hated this book. I thought it is one of the dumbest dystopians I have ever read. It was an awful book. I will never read it again. And the last on my list is probably one that is not going to go over particularly well, but for the sake of that, if you like any of the books on this list, I'm not attacking you personally because we might have very different tastes. I just don't enjoy these books. So the last book, or the last series, is The Dark Artificer by Cassandra Clare. If you've watched my previous videos, you know why, but I'll reiterate it just in case. Love triangle or forbidden love, and nobody dies. For the love of my sanity, People need to die properly, and they don't in her series. I'm sick of having to save the Shadowhunter world. We've gone through 2 giant evils at this point, and I understand that the Shadowhunter world is really cool because I do enjoy it. I like her other series, with the exception of book number 3, 4, and 5 in the first series, Mortal Instruments. But this one, I'm done. I can't deal with Cassandra Clare anymore. So, yeah, I'll read the last book to figure out where they go from the ending of the second, but I'm done. I hope you enjoyed this video. I realize that several of these books are very popular and that I don't like them, so that's probably a little strange, but that's okay. If you did enjoy this video, give it a big thumbs up down below. If you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button down below. As always, I will link my Goodreads in the down bar if you want to check out what else I read and like beyond these several books. But that's all I got, so I will see you in another video soon. Bye.